company.
Move to question number 6 in the name of the Honourable David Parker.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance. Does he stand by his Budget 2012 statement, quote, "We are moving towards growth that is driven by savings, export and productive investment in the parts of the economy that trade with the rest of the world"?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, yes.
Supplementary.
Honourable David Parker.
With dropping exports, a current account deficit that is projected to be second worst in the developed world this year. No, I'm complaining about the fact, Mr Joyce, that you're failing in your duty to overcome the problem.
Would the member please ask his supplementary question?
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order.
Are you ruling that if we face interjections that are inane
No,
from
I'm
the
not.
government,
I'm
we
asking,
can't respond to them
no,
when we are speaking?
I'm definitely not. I'm asking the member to ask his question.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. With dropping exports, a current account deficit that is projected to be second worst in the developed world this year and to remain very high for the rest of the forecast period, when will the Minister concede that he's failed in his objective to rebalance the economy?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, don't accept the member's contention. Exports over the last 2 or 3 years have continued to rise in value and volume. There's been, I think, one number in a recent quarter where it's been down, but the longer-term trend is pretty clear. Of course, we'd like it to be moving faster. And with respect to the current account deficit, that member's party oversaw 3 years of an 8% current account deficit, the worst performance ever. It's currently around about 4%. So that's why we're not complaining about it.
Honourable David Parker.
Will he support any of the top 3 ideas consistently proposed by exporting manufacturing, which they say will make them more competitive and help them grow exports and jobs, namely broadening the mandate of the Reserve Bank or removing the capital income exemption through a capital gains tax or universal KiwiSaver? And if not, why not?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, we're always open to looking at those sorts of ideas, although the government has said it doesn't agree with bringing in a comprehensive capital gains tax. Changing the mandate of the Reserve Bank is something reasonable people can argue about, but is unlikely to yield the results that manufacturers expect. We are working with manufacturers and other businesses every day on the government's business growth program, and we are open to any suggestion, including some that we may disagree with, such as those, to help support their businesses.
Supplementary
question, the Honourable David Parker.
Given that the Minister of Economic Development claims that greater foreign direct investment is the best way to grow jobs, what recent and significant foreign direct investment has there been in the New Zealand economy outside the primary sector?
Honourable
Speaker,
Bill English.
I think as the Minister has pointed out himself, what he said is foreign direct investment is part of the recipe for growing jobs, because to have jobs you need investment, and New Zealand hasn't for many decades had sufficient savings to fund all of its own investment. I welcome the opposition's new enthusiasm for foreign investment, because up until today they've been mostly opposed to it.
Supplementary question, the Honourable David Parker.
Isn't it correct that outside the primary sector, foreign direct investment is shrinking, with job losses and disinvestment by manufacturing exporters from the south to the north of New Zealand, pointing to uncompetitive economic settings which need to be changed?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, I wouldn't want to take them. I think we'd need to check just which figures the member is referring to. If he is saying that there is a contraction in foreign investment outside of the primary sector, actually our biggest foreign investors are the owners of our banks. There's no sign of them contracting. They are outside the primary production sector. In the minerals, resources and oil sector, there is so much enthusiasm from offshore investors that opposition parties are trying to stop them investing and thereby creating the jobs that many New Zealanders would like to see.
Question number 7, Dr Cam Calder.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.